Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning. We're here to talk about a very important topic, and that's putting money back into consumers' hands during this very tough economy. Pleased to announce today the Gift Card Money Back Guarantee Act, turning cards into cash. In this economy, obviously, we should be doing everything we can to make sure that consumers have the opportunity to keep our economy going by purchasing goods. 3 years ago, in 2007, I authored a bill that the governor signed, Senate Bill 250, which gave consumers, for the first time in the state of California, the right to redeem their cash gift cards for cash value, up to $10. And this program has been working so well over the past few years, we thought it was important to introduce a bill that would allow even more help to our consumers. So I'm proud to introduce Senate Bill 885, which will expand the amount a consumer can redeem a card for up to $20. The bill will also require a statement on each gift card declaring that it can be redeemed up to $20. I'll speak about in a moment the fact that sometimes it's difficult to redeem these cards, and in fact, consumers sometimes don't even know they have the right to redeem their gift cards for cash. This is an example of the card, and on this you'll see what it will look like with a statement on the card on the front or the back, and what we're hoping is this will turn into a no-fee, no-hassle program for our consumers. The point of the law is very simple. When people give a gift card as a gift, they expect that value to be enjoyed by the recipient and not the store. When a grandmother purchases a birthday present for their grandchild, I don't think they expect to be making a donation to their favorite retailer, but to give something that will be enjoyed by the grandchild. In 2008, projected spending on gift cards was $24.9 billion, and in 2009, the number of people who bought gift cards increased by 2.1%. So obviously it's a very, very popular gift. Many consumers who have used the new law, SB 250, to obtain the remaining value on their gift cards have sometimes run into problems, and some retailers have either ignored the law or inadvertently ignored the law, and sometimes we found out intentionally ignored the law. Consumers like Janice Critchlow, who is here today, and we're going to hear from her in a moment, even had to fight to get the money back that she was entitled to under the current law. And in fact, district attorneys in 3 counties in the state brought actions against Starbucks Corporation because employees at Starbucks were not redeeming the cards for consumers. That lawsuit was settled, and now Starbucks has agreed to retrain their employees and post signage in the store so people are aware of this law. The bill would also prohibit dormancy fees, which allow the remaining value on the card to be gobbled up by these fees when a card is inactive. In these difficult times, consumers deserve to have ready access to all of their cash, including their unused gift cards. I'm sure many people in this room have a few in their pocket or maybe in the top drawer of their dresser. And this additional money can make a difference on whether people have the opportunity to pay for their groceries or to make their ends meet. So let's get that money out, improving the economy and eventually creating jobs where it belongs. In the U.S., $5 billion in gift cards go unspent every single year. And after a few years, a retailer has the opportunity to claim the money as profit without even supplying a product. And some companies have claimed up to $43 million in profits a year from gift cards alone. That my goal is to make sure consumers get the money they have coming due to them with no fees and no hassles. And with me today, we have some representatives from consumers groups and, of course, a consumer to talk about her story. And I'm going to turn that over to them, and they'll talk about their experiences. So with us, next will be speaking Janice Critchlow. She's a consumer who has a story to tell about the redemption of her gift cards. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a consultant for the Placer Consortium on Homelessness, and we did 2 homeless counts in 2009. And we give out gift cards of $5 each to unsheltered homeless people, both as an incentive to get them to answer the questions, and then as a thank you, because in most consumer sampling things, people get some incentives. And we had some left over, and my experience in cashing them in was just the opposite of what should have happened. And part of it may have been that the cards were all for fast food restaurants, and given the nature of fast food, there's high turnover, but most places did not know about the law. In fact, I hadn't known about the law until I was buying them at Burger King, and I said, would you buy these back? And the manager said, yes, I have to. It's state law. The experience was very, very mixed. I received money back immediately at Burger King. At In-N-Out Burger, it took about an hour. McDonald's, it took until the next day. They needed to verify the law. Dairy Queen was willing, but they had a new cash register and had to get a button installed. And finally, after a few days, they said, we're just going to give you the cash, and we'll figure it out later. But lots of times, the first response was, no, we don't redeem. We don't do that. And then I would say, well, you know, it's a state law. May I speak to your manager? So I'm a pretty savvy consumer, and I had quite a bit that I needed to get back. But I represent homeless people and other low-income people who are not necessarily great advocates for themselves. So that if people tell them, no, we don't do that, they're apt to believe it. And especially since most of the current cards say may not be redeemed for cash except when required by law. And Jack in the Box was in my personal hall of shame. The local store just told me no. And they didn't give me any information. When I talked to corporate, they said, well, it's true that the local stores can't do that, but it has to be done through corporate, but they should have told you to call us. They told me they weren't really covered by the law, but they would be nice and refund them. I had to fax a 23-page fax with the copies of the front of each card. Now tell me, what information does that give you? The back of the card, which does have the number, and they also wanted receipts. Now, these are gift cards. I happen to keep receipts because I'm a consultant, and it's important for my taxes, but most people do not keep receipts. And it took 3 weeks to receive the check. So they told me the same process would be necessary if you were turning in a 40-cent. You had 40 cents on a card, or $2. And, really, who would do that? Who would spend more money to refund a card than what's on it? So this bill would make the process so much easier in so many ways.
Thank you very much, Janice. Our next speaker is Michelle Junn from Consumers Union.
Consumers Union applauds Senate Bill 885 as we've supported the past bills that Senator Corbett has sponsored, which provides consumers with the ability to redeem more of their gift card funds instead of leaving these valuable funds unspent and become breakage. We've heard from a number of consumers who are frustrated with breakage due to the inability to use the remaining value on their gift cards. This bill will enable consumers to utilize their gift cards down to the penny simply by redeeming the remaining value on their gift cards with a cash value below $20. This bill also eliminates all dormancy fees, which has already become the norm of many retailer cards. Gift cards are popular and very profitable, as was discussed, but profit should not come at the expense of consumers. Consumers should not lose the value on their gift cards, particularly out of the frustration or the inability, or in some cases, the lack of knowledge on how to redeem the remaining value on their gift cards. Therefore, we strongly encourage SB 885 to be passed and to enable consumers to fully redeem the value on their gift cards.
And the next speaker is Ignacio Hernandez from the Consumer Federation of California.
Thank you. The Consumer Federation of California strongly supports Senator Corbett's efforts to return power to consumers. Really, the original bill was intended to remind consumers that they control their dollars. Even when they purchase a gift card, they do not concede control to retailers. If they spend the entire amount, then that's their choice. If for some reason they do not, then the money that they spend purchasing the cards belongs to them and not to the retailer, simply because there is a small balance. We have heard from a number of consumers who have had trouble redeeming leftover balances, and strangely enough, I've had that problem myself. I've had to explain to a number of retailers the statute and the law and the background on it to ensure that there was compliance with state law. So we applaud the efforts of the Senator. We look forward to reminding consumers that when you are promised that something is as good as cash, that it really is, and that you don't lose control simply because it's now in a plastic form. If that's your money when you purchased it, it's your money when you turn it in. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last speaker is Pedro Mota from CalPERG.
Thanks very much, Senator. My name is Pedro Mota. I'm the consumer advocate for CalPERG. First off, just like to applaud Senator Corbett. She's exactly right. If passed, this bill will absolutely mean more money in consumers' pockets. Of the projected $87 billion in gift card sales nationally this year, $5 billion will go unspent. That's a huge gift from consumers to retailers, but probably not what they had in mind when they bought the gift card in the first place. $20 here and $20 there definitely adds up, especially in these tough economic times. And at the end of the day, it's all consumers' money and not the retailers. They should be able to use it where and when they want. Thank you.
We're available for any questions you might have, and I think the final point would be, why would we leave cash sitting in our top drawer collecting dust in this economy when we have the opportunity to make sure that people are spending money that's rightfully theirs from gift cards they've purchased themselves or have received in a gift. This will go a long way to help people in these tough economic times, and I think it's really the only fair thing to do, give people an opportunity to get their cash back and actually spend their money for things that they need.